Hello, everyone. A very good evening to all of you. We are left with 2 days when we have our first CBT1 of Goa PSI exam. One of that exam, which was being waited for a very long time and has been now being conducted by Goa Staff Selection Commission, which has successfully conducted few exams earlier on. Like technical assistant was there, then this Goa PSI is there, then accountant exams are yet to come, and there are many more vacancies which are yet to come. Just now, few vacancies from IBPS and SBI has also come for the students of Goa. So we had conducted a live mock test just 2 days back on Wednesday, 5th, in which many students from Goa has given the examination. Approximately around 200 odd people had given the exams at different levels, and the guys must have got the scores. They must have got uh, to know which section they are strong in, which section lagged preparation, and on which fields to go ahead. So we decided to discuss the solution of that live mock test, and along with this solution, we will also be discussing the last minute strategy on how to absolutely crack this exam, how to maximize the score. However, the score which you will achieve in this maximization, it will not help you in the next rounds, but it will definitely count on your confidence and the number of people who will be getting selected. Approximately some 2,500 to 3,000 odd people will be getting selected from this first CBT1, and they will move to the physical round. Around 2,500 to 3,000 students will be selected. So how to score marks, which will be the marks which you should get to ensure a fair selection, and so that your name should always reflect in the first list which is going to come. So the flow of the session will be like first we will be moving towards the Konkani section. Our Konkani expert will be telling you how those 10 questions can be maximized, what is the logic behind the questions, followed by English, and then mathematics and reasoning at the end. Accordingly, after this mock test solving session is finished, after that, we will be going on for a quick 15-20 minute strategy session wherein you can discuss these things with the experts through chat mode on YouTube Live, or else we will give our phone numbers as well. If you have any doubts, any confusion regarding the strategy, you can discuss that strategy with us. So without further delay, we will directly start with the mock solving session with our Konkani expert. Okay, may I request ma'am to please share the screen from her end. First, we will be solving the mock test which we had given on 5th of this month.
Good evening, everyone. Now we will be discussing the 10 questions which appeared in the mock test. First 10 questions which were of Konkani. Sir, is my voice audible?
Yes, yes, your voice is audible.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so कोंकणी जेन्ना येता तेन्ना पयले क्वेश्चन्स पयले 10 क्वेश्चन्स कोंकणीचे येतना ते तरेतरेचे क्वेश्चन्स आसता. इट कम्स फ्रॉम डिफरंट टॉपिक्स जे आमकां कवर करता आमी कोंकणी सिलेबसान ह्या एग्जामीच्या, आनी तितूंतल्या वेगळे वेगळे क्वेश्चनांतल्यान वेगळे वेगळे टॉपिकांतल्यान वेगवेगळे क्वेश्चन येतला. एक ते पोयमीचे जावं शकता वा ते खंयच्या ग्रॅमराचे टॉपिकाचे जावं शकता. सो तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन हांगा घातलेलो आसा तो कुमांबर कडे राजाच्यान गुंतूं नजो राणयेच्यान माडूं नजो. हें कवडें एक कवितांतलें घेतिल्लें आसा. हातूंत तुमी खंयची कविता ही कविता तुमी वळखपाक जाय. ओके, आनी हांगा फर्स्ट हांगा जे ऑप्शन करेक्ट ऑप्शन आहा ते जावन आहा मडबांतली नकेत्रां. दुसरो क्वेश्चन आहा आज्यालो बापूय तो पणजो आनी पणज्यालो बापूय तो डॅश. आतां हो क्वेश्चन, this question is based on relations नातीं. ओके, जी नाती आमच्या जिवितांतली नाती, आमच्या फॅमिलीतली नाती, द रिलेशन्स ऑफ आवर फॅमिलीज. सो इन दीस आजो इज ग्रँडफादर, father of grandfather, great grandfather is Panzo, and what is asked is father of great grandfather, means what you call the great great grandfather, and the correct option over here is Shenzo, option 3. The next question is उदयालो जीव तानेन आकुड पिकुड जालो, वाक्यप्रचाराचो अर्थ कितें? Over here, the idiom. Vakyapprachar means in English, it is the idiom. The idiom marked over here is akud pikud zav. Akud pikud in English means being uncomfortable. So in English, the question says that the person's the person was feeling uncomfortable because of thirst. Now, what is the meaning of this idiom akud pikud zav? The meaning, correct meaning is option number 4, kasavis zav. 4-5 ऑप्शन सांगा आहा. भंय दिसप, थरथरप, रूच सेवप. भंय दिसप means भिरांत दिसप, थरथरप means again भिरांत दिसप. रूच सेवप means रूच सेवप म्हणजे टू फील लाईक इटिंग समथिंग. आणि लास्ट इज कासावीस जाव. आकुड पिकुड जावप आणि कासावीस जावप means feeling uncomfortable. The next question number 4 is मातयेचें काम करता तो कुंभार, लाकडाचें काम करता तो डॅश. ओके, आता हांगा प्रोफेशन्स, वॉट यू कॉल द डिफरंट प्रोफेशन्स इन कोंकणी ते हांगा विचारला. मातयेचें काम करता मीन्स पॉटर. ओके, पॉटर हू मेक्स आर्टिकल्स फ्रॉम सॉयल, दॅट ही इज कॉल्ड एज कुंभार. आणि लाकडाचें काम करता तो हू इज कॉल्ड अ कार्पेंटर. लाकडाचें काम म्हणजे कार्पेंटर. ताका कितें म्हणटा इन कोंकणी? ताका म्हणटा मेस्त. ऑप्शन नंबर 1 इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन ओवर हियर. क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, अति शाणयाक फातरां शीत, ह्या म्हणीचो अर्थ कितें? म्हणी म्हणजे proverbs. In English it is proverb. The proverb given over here is अति शाणयाक फातरां शीत, means the oversmart will be served the rice of stones. Okay, now what is the meaning of this? Means the person who acts over smart will not receive anything at the end. Okay, he will not gain anything at the end. So the meaning which is satisfied over here from the options is चड शाणेपण केल्यार कांय बरें मेळना. ऑप्शन नंबर 3, चड शाणपण केल्यार कांय बरें मेळना, means if you act smart, over smart, you will not get anything good. Next question number 6, काळो काळसाण, स्वतंत्र स्वतंत्रता, म्हारग म्हारगाय जाल्यार विविध हाचें कितें जातलें? आता काळो काळसाण, स्वतंत्र स्वतंत्रता ही सगळीं विशेशणां आनी भावनामां. जेन्ना आमी काळो म्हणटा, कावडो काळो, ओके, तेन्ना आमी कावड्याची विशेषता सांगता. वी टॉक अबाउट द स्पेशलिटी ऑफ द क्रो. इट इज एन एडजेक्टिव्ह. Now, what is the speciality? That becomes the abstract noun. So, Kadsan is the abstract noun. That is the Bhawnam over here. तशेंच स्वतंत्र स्वतंत्रता जातले, म्हारग म्हारगाय जातले, विविध कितें जातले? विविध जातले विविधताय. विविध म्हणजे डिफरंट. ओके, आणि त्याचे भावनाम जातले विविधताय. So the correct option is option number 3, विविधताय. क्वेश्चन नंबर 7, कोंकणी साहित्य अकादमी पुरस्कार कोणाक पयली मेळ्ळा? ओके, हू रिसीव्ड द साहित्य अकादमिक पुरस्कार, द अवॉर्ड. ओके, द अवॉर्ड, विच ऑफ द रायटर्स? सांगा ऑप्शन आहा रवींद्र केळेकर, लॉरेन्स गोम्स, ग व शिरगांवकर आणि मनोहरराय सरदेसाय, and none of the above. The correct option over here is Ravindra Kelekar. He received the award in the year 1977 for his writing Himalayan. Okay, the correct option. Now, next question. Question number 8. हो तो गांव जो सदांच सुकांत आसता. हे एक वाक्य हांगा दिला. Continuing the question. कुरू केल्या उतराची जात बरयात. कुरू कोणाक केल्या, कुरू केल्या जो. Means a sentence is given and a word is marked from the sentence and that is जो. आणि 4 ऑप्शन्स दिल्या. आत्मवाचक सर्वनाम, दोडी सर्वनाम, संबंधी सर्वनाम, पुरुष सर्वनाम. सर्वनाम म्हणजे प्रोनाउन आणि हांगा 4 भशेची सर्वनामां आहा and last option is none of the above. The correct option over here is संबंधी सर्वनाम. हे सर्वनाम आमकां गांव आणि सुका मदीं एक संबंध दाखयता. ताका लागून हे ऑप्शन जो हे उतर जाता संबंधी सर्वनाम. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. देवडांतल्यो गांठी वाजताल्यो. या वाक्यांत क्रियापदाचो काळ आयला तो डॅश. क्रियापदाचो काळ म्हणजे एक सेंटन्स दिला आणि तातूंत आमकां क्रियापदाचो काळ वळखपाक सांगला. One sentence is given and you are asked to identify the tense of the verb. Now, what is the meaning of a verb? Verb means action word. What is the action word in this sentence? The देवडांतल्यो गांठी वाजताल्यो. The verb, the action word in this sentence is वाजताल्यो. वाजताल्यो आणि you have to identify the tense. वाजताल्यो म्हणजे हे कार्य, हे क्रिया ही ऑलरेडी जाली. ओके, वाजताल्यो जाली म्हणजे खंयचे काळांतले वर्तमान काळ, भूतकाळ, भविष्य काळ वा ह्यो पैकी कोंकणी न्हय. ओके, सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन ओवर हियर इज भूतकाळ. ओके, जालें, जें कार्य ऑलरेडी जालें, इट इज इन पास्ट टेन्स. सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन ओवर हियर इज भूतकाळ. लास्ट क्वेश्चन. कोंकणी भाशेचे पहिले कवी कोण? ओके, कोंकणी भाशेचे पहिले कवी जावन आहा संत सोयराबाई. संत सोयराबाई. सो हे जावन आहले 10 क्वेश्चन कोंकणीचे जे आमचे मॉक टेस्टान आयले. These were the 10 questions which appeared in the mock test and if you see all the questions are from different topics which have to be covered while studying. Now some tips which I would like to give from my side is when you learn Konkani for such exams there are 2 types of content to be studied. One is grammatical content which covers जात, सर्वनाम, उरफाटी उतरां, मागीर क्रियापद, विशेषण, अव्यय आणि वाक्यप्रचार. ही सगळी जावन आहा ग्रॅमेटिकल पार्ट जे शिकपाक. ओके, टू लर्न दॅट यू हॅव टू नो द concept behind the grammar. Okay, it is very important to learn the concept to understand the question. Once you learn the concept of all this grammar, of all these grammar topics, it will be easier to crack any type of question which comes from that particular topic. Then next type of content which is there is the reading content. जे जाऊ ते writers, poets, their content and also the content from the books which will help you to understand the vocabulary in Konkani, which will help you to understand the Konkani of the question. Okay, questionaची कोंकणी समजपाक खूप important. So to understand the question, it is very important to understand the language, the Konkani of the question, because once if you don't understand the Konkani, it can mislead you to the answer. Okay, so the second part of the content is the content which is reading content. It can be the writers, some famous writers, some famous poets, some poems of the famous poets, some writings of the famous poets, their years, and also very important is proverbs. Okay, mani, Goan Konkani mani, proverbs जे आहा ते one point in proverbs is to understand what that proverb means and also if possible to memorize the proverbs, because sometimes it will be asked to complete a particular proverb. So if you deal with these 2 contents thoroughly in Konkani, it is easy to crack all the 10 questions. Also from my side, one suggestion is you can refer the SCRT Konkani books, textbooks. Common to Konkani textbooks saha from the school of 8th, 9th, 10th. You can read those books. Those books are really good in providing the very important writings from the very famous writers of Koan Konkani literature, and also very importantly the poems. So this would be my suggestion to refer, if possible, refer from 5th to 12th, if not at least from 8th to 12th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, common Konkani books, Konkani जे पुस्तकां आसात स्कुलांतली, it is difficult to get them online, but you can always refer from the students who are studying in schools कोंकणी, तांचे कडल्यान पुस्तकां घेवन वाचली जाल्यार तुमची वोकॅबलरी कोंकणीची जी आहा ती बरी जातली आनी तुमकां जे रायटर्स आहा तेंची माहिती मेळटली, कित्याक the every before the starting of the chapter from 8th standard they have given the information about the writers. They have also given the information about the poets. Some famous poets and some famous writers are there in the Konkani textbooks, so that will be very helpful. So this was all which I had to, with suggestions and some advice, some tips which I had to give from my side. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am, for your insights over Konkani section of the mock test. Now I request our English expert, ma'am, to go for the English questions, English sections for the mock test. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, sir. So, am I audible? Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I'm Vaishnavi Bhatt. I'm here to go over some English questions with you all. So, let's get started. Question 11, right here up on your screen. A national holiday dash on the same day as my birthday. So, by the sentence, we understand that we are talking about a date or an event. So, the most appropriate option to go with it would be false. Option number 4. Second, the doctor dash 2 tablets per day. A doctor always prescribes, right? The doctor prescribes medicines and dosage, the standard term in medical concept. Whereas a lawyer or someone who would give you guidance would advise you. Ordered would be moreover like in command, so less common in this particular context. Proposed again in a very formal capacity. Next one, my friends and I dash to watch the IPL finals in Mumbai. My friends and I is plural and the sentence indicates a current or a future arrangement. So the best option here would be are planning. So friends and I, that is we, that makes it we, which requires a plural verb. Hence we go with are planning. Next, Mr. Sharma opened the door of the store to dash. Here, the key was to understand the different meanings associated with something that sounds more or less the same. Um, so the correct one would be option one, that is P-double-E-K, whereas P-I-K-E, that would be a type of fish. Piece, again, option three would be a portion of something, and peak is the topmost point. The best example here would be a mountain. We say a mountain peak, right? Next. Air travel is the dash growing emitter of climate change gases. The sentence refers to a rate at which the air travel contributes to climate change. So we understand that something of a superlative degree has to fit in the blank given. So that would be fastest, option number 2. Next, we didn't mean to dash all of you waiting. Now, the sentence expresses regret for making someone wait. So keep would be the best possible word here because in standard expression, we use it to apologize or acknowledge delay. Next one night a hunter dash near a river when he began to dream. Now, from the very last words, we understand that somewhere it's talking about past continuous action that has been happening when another event, that is the dream that occurred, right? So the correct option would be was sleeping, which would be option number 2. Whereas is sleeping is present continuous, so wrong tense. Then you have the correct option, that is option two. Sleep is the base verb, incorrect in this context. Was slept is incorrect in the passive voice. Next, here we had to identify the grammatical error which lies in one of the given parts of the sentence. The changes in fashion is most obviously influenced by the trends from all around the world. This question is from subject verb agreement. Now, the changes is plural, but the verb is present. So that disrupts the rule of subject verb agreement, right? So we could go about this question two ways. The change, if you have to eliminate the S in the word change, then is the most appropriate verb there. If you had to keep changes the way it is, then the verb are will be replaced. Is will be replaced by are. So we could either say the change is noticeable or the changes are noticeable. Next, again, another question wherein you have to spot the grammatical error. Let me know if you need a further information about the program that is going to be held. Now, here we have to understand that information is uncountable, so it cannot be used with the article a, right? So it does not take a and before them. So we use modifiers like some, any, much, or further instead of a. Next, again, a similar type of question. High level security arrangements were made for the forthcoming visit to a Japanese prime minister. Now that we understand, the error lies in the fourth part of the sentence, to visit a, right? So now again, a is used before Japanese prime minister, which is a specific and unique title. So treat it as like a proper noun, and that's why it takes the. So a will be replaced with the. Next, I had a hard time paying the driver as I had only hundreds rupee note. Understand that 100 rupee note is again incorrect in the sense of subject verb agreement. Why, you ask? It should be 100 in singular form when it is used as an adjective. So when a number is used as an adjective before a noun, it remains in singular form. So hence it would be 100 rupee note. Next, identify the segment in the sentence which contains an grammatical error. Instead of studying in home, I went to my friend's house. Now, in is wrong preposition that is being used. The correct one would be at home. I don't like movies who has an happy ending. Now, here, who is used for movies which are non-living things? So, who is generally used for people, right? And that or which is used for things. Now, this concept is of relative pronoun. So, we have to understand that who is being generally associated with human beings. And when we talk about non-living things, we usually use that or which. Next question. They are looking to a place to rest. Now, looking to is incorrect when the intent is to search for something. So the correct one here would be are looking for. Okay. Next one. The team worked hard to complete the project ahead of schedule, impressing their supervisor. Impressing their supervisor. The correct option here would be wrap up. Now you may ask, why not finish off? Now, finish off is generally used when we intend to say that a last part of something has been completed, not the whole project, right? So the correct phrasal verb in this particular context would be wrap up. That means to finish or complete. Next, we set up on the journey early in the morning. Now, set up means to establish or arrange something. Okay. Set up the desk. I'm here. I'll get to work in another 20. So it's used in a context like that. But when we intend to say that we are kickstarting or maybe getting started with the journey, the most appropriate phrasal verb would be set off. Next, don't see into my phone. Now, seeing into is an inappropriate preposition. So the correct preposition to be used here is look at, which means to direct your eyes towards something. Question number 28. Some children surprisingly take on their grandparents in appearance. Now, when we say take on, we mean to assume responsibility or undertake responsibility. But here, since we are talking about appearance, we will use take after, which means to resemble a family member in appearance or behavior. Next question. The news are very disappointing. We've been given three sentences. We need to identify which one collocates correctly, whether all of them do or one or two of them do, according to the options presented to you. So the first one, the news are very disappointing. Now, this is wrong. Why? News is an uncountable singular noun. So it is just news and not, sorry about the interruption. Yeah. So we were saying the news are very disappointing. News is an uncountable singular noun. And here the word are is given. That defeats the rule of subject verb agreement. We say when there is a singular uncountable noun, it usually takes is, right? So option A is wrong. Option B, again, news is associated with the verb are, definitely wrong. C, the news is very disappointing. Now, this satisfies the rule of subject verb agreement, hence, option C will be the correct answer. Next, my final round of Spell Bee competition is coming up. To win this event, I need to study hard from today. So, we need to select the most appropriate idiom to substitute the underlined segment in the given sentence. Now, study hard, the best idiom to replace this particular phrase would be hit the books. Hit the books meaning to begin studying seriously. If I were to give you an example, exams are near, so it's time to hit the books and focus on preparation. Let's understand the meaning of the other options presented. Burn the books, it's not a valid idiom in this context. Cut to the chase is to get to point without wasting any time. Pour my heart out is to express one's deepest feelings. Hmm? Next. After receiving a promotion, Jenny became overly confident and began to ignore her colleagues' opinions. Now, what would be the most appropriate idiom to describe her behavior? It would be getting too big for her boots. Now, getting too big for her boots means becoming too proud or arrogant. Okay, whereas the others, let's go over the other options. Break the ice is to start the conversation in a social setting to make people more comfortable. When I say burning the midnight oil, meaning working or studying late into the night. Barking up the wrong tree is blaming the wrong person or pursuing a wrong solution or a direction. Next, question number 32. Select the most appropriate idiom that can substitute the underlined words in the given sentence. I have been living without a lot of money since I lost my job. Now, the correct option here would be living hand to mouth. What does it mean? To live with just enough money to meet basic needs with no savings. So, after losing his job, he has been living hand to mouth, struggling to pay the bills. Okay, let's understand what the other options mean. Receiving a kickback, or getting illegal or secret payments, usually a bribe. Okay, keeping my chin up, staying strong and positive through the tough times. As genuine as a $3 bill, something that is fake or dishonest. Next, again, we need to, I guess this question has been repeated, so I'll just move on to question 34. I took a quick trip to my cousin's house before going on vacation to Africa. Select the most appropriate idiom. Now, break the journey is when you take a stop or when you stop for a short time during a long break. So, definitely it won't go with the context provided to you in the sentence. So, moving on to option two, paid a flying visit. It means to visit someone for a short time. So, this would be an appropriate idiom. Now, let's understand what the third option means too. Lived out of a suitcase. It means to travel continuously, staying briefly in different places. And lastly, we have float one's boat to interest or please someone. Okay? But here, in the given context, the right option would be option number two. Next, select the word which means the same as the group of words given. A close fitting cover for the blade or knife of a knife or sword. The correct option would be sheath. Okay, whereas casting is moreover on the lines of a process of shaping material in a mold. Envelope is a paper container. Sleeve is a part of garment. So the right option would be sheath. In case if you weren't able to identify just by the words given, you could try the method of eliminating the options in order to arrive to the right one. Next, select the word again, same drill as that of the previous question. A warning of impending danger. What does naive mean? Lacking experience or judgment. Is it anywhere close to impending danger? No. Let's move on to the next option. Monition. It means a sudden danger or warning. So that goes with the words presented to you, right? So this would be the correct option. Also understand what the other options mean. Obtuse, lacking quickness of perception. We say agile, right? So lack of agility. Next, draft a preliminary version of a document. So here, according to the words given to us, that is a warning of impending danger. The right word would be monition. Next, reduction in
Okay,
tax
so I want
or debt.
my
What does armory mean? A place where weapons are stored. Follow is leave of absence, and terse is brief or very direct speech. So what remains is rebate. Rebate means a partial refund or deduction in tax or debt. Now, even when you're trying to eliminate options in order to arrive to the right one, once you arrive to the last one remaining, try to understand it through its root words. It may not be the right option sometimes, and you will have to select none of the above. Okay? So be careful there. Next, question number 38. Select the word which means the same as the group of words given. A hollow space in a wall for a statue or an ornament. Yeah. So the correct one would be niche, a hollow space in a wall for a statue or an ornament. So an example would be the idol was placed in a niche on the temple wall. Coming to the next question, select the word which means the same drill as above. Existing forever without any beginning or end. It is eternal. Eternal means existing forever. So philosophers often ponder about eternal truths, right? So that's where the word eternal hails from. Ageless is not growing old or showing age. Indefinite is something that is not clear, something that's not defined. Never ending is continuing forever. Now, again, this is close to the meaning, but it's in a very informal capacity. Okay. The last question, select the word again. Okay, same drill as that of above. The here you've been asked sound of horses. A horse neighs, right? Who grunts? Usually, again, both humans and animals. Who screeches? Birds, especially parrots and gulls. And who squeaks? Rodents, mammals. Huh? Now that brings me to the end. That's all from my side. Um, from what we from all the questions that we've seen so far, what we could gather is these questions were mainly based on subject verb agreement, prepositions, tenses, idioms. So it becomes important to understand the rules of grammar, and yes, as it makes everything easier. Yeah. So thank you so much for listening patiently. That's it from my end.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your insightful session on English questions, which we had done. Now, let us come to the most difficult section, one section in which most of the people are scared with mathematics. So, let us start with our maths expert to solve the questions of mathematics which were there on the day of live mock test. Over to you, sir, for mathematics questions. You can share your screen and start.
Okay, sir. स्क्रीन विजिबल है सर?
नहीं सर, अभी विजिबल नहीं है. Now it is visible, sir.
Okay. Now we are going to discuss the mock test of maths जो हमारी हुई है. First question 41. ये टाइम वर्क चैप्टर्स है. यहाँ पूछ रहा है P alone can complete a piece of work in 12 days and Q can complete the same work in 18 days. With the help of R, all three finish the work in 6 days. In how many days R alone can complete the work? तो बेसिकली इसमें आपसे R का alone R कितने दिन में अकेला काम कर रहा है ये पूछ रहा है. तो P कितने दिन में काम कर रहा है? 12. Q कितने दिन में काम कर रहा है? 18. एंड P, Q और R तीनों मिलके 6 दिन में काम कर रहा है. तो ये टाइम हो गया. इसका एफिशिएंसी एफिशिएंसी निकालने के लिए आप पहले सबसे पहले इसका एलसीएम ले लो. 12, 18, 6 से का एलसीएम कितना हो गया? 72. ठीक है. 6, 4 एंड 12. ठीक है. यहाँ पे P का दिया हुआ है, Q का दिया हुआ है और P, Q, R तीनों का दिया हुआ है. यहाँ पे आपको अलोन सिर्फ R का निकालना है. तो ये जो एलसीएम निकलता है वही आपका वर्क हो जाता है. एलसीएम कितना निकला? 72. ये आपका टोटल वर्क हो गया. आपका सिर्फ टाइम पूछ रहा है आर का ना. तो टाइम इक्वल टू क्या होता है? वर्क बाय इफिशियंसी. वर्क कितना हो गया? 72. अभी देखिए इफिशियंसी आपको निकालना है, आर का निकालना है. कैसे होगा कि 12 टोटल है तीनों का टोटल है, बट ये दोनों का कितना हुआ, 6 + 4 10 हो गया, तो 12 - 10 2, आपका 36 आंसर हो गया। ये आपका आर का निकल गया। अब ये कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट चैप्टर का है। कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट, second question, what will be the interest on an amount of rupees 12,000 at the rate of 10% compound interest in the first year and at the rate of 18% compound interest in the second year for 2 years? कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट और सिंपल इंटरेस्ट का फर्स्ट ईयर हमेशा सेम ही होता है, ठीक है। कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट सिंपल इंटरेस्ट की तरह बिहेव करता है फर्स्ट ईयर में। तो 12,000 का 10% कितना हो जाएगा फर्स्ट ईयर में? 12,000 यहाँ पे क्या हो गया, प्रिंसिपल हो गया, 10% क्या हो गया, इंटरेस्ट हो गया। 12,000 का 10% कितना हो जाएगा, 1200। ये हो गया आपका फर्स्ट ईयर का इंटरेस्ट, फर्स्ट ईयर का ये इंटरेस्ट हो गया। सेकेंड आपसे क्या पूछ रहा है, एट द रेट ऑफ 18% कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट इन द सेकेंड ईयर फॉर 2 years। अभी सेकेंड ईयर आपका, सेकेंड ईयर में 18% बोल रहा है, तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे, ये 12,000 का ही, अभी फर्स्ट ईयर में 1200 उसको इंटरेस्ट मिला, तो टोटल कितना हो जाएगा, 12,000 प्लस 1200, टोटल कितना हो गया, 13200, 13200, ठीक है। 13200 का 18% आप फाइंड आउट करो, कितना हो जाएगा, 2376। ये सेकेंड ईयर का इंटरेस्ट हो गया, और फर्स्ट ईयर का ऐड कर दो, 2376 प्लस 1200, कितना आंसर हो जाएगा, 3576। ये आपका आंसर हो गया। 43rd का, 43rd में क्या दिया है, पेरीमीटर टू द लेंथ ऑफ रेक्टेंगल। पेरीमीटर ऑफ रेक्टेंगल क्या होता है, 2l + b, ठीक है। और लेंथ आपका क्या दिया हुआ है, इसका वैल्यू क्या दिया है, 5, और इसका वैल्यू दिया है 2। तो हम लोग इस तरह करके भी लिख सकते हैं, 5/2। पेरीमीटर का फॉर्मूला 2l + b by l is 5/2। इसको आप अगर आप करोगे, इसको आप करोगे तो 4 क्रॉस मल्टीपल आप करके देख लेना, ये आ जाएगा, ठीक है। अभी क्या दिया हुआ नेक्स्ट, इफ द एरिया ऑफ द रेक्टेंगल, इफ द एरिया ऑफ रेक्टेंगल इज 16 सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर, ठीक है। एरिया ऑफ द रेक्टेंगल इज 16 सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर, तो एरिया ऑफ रेक्टेंगल क्या होता है, l × b 16। l का वैल्यू l ही रहने देते हैं, b का वैल्यू, ठीक है, सो एक सेकंड, l का 4b कर देते हैं। आपको क्या चाहिए, ब्रेथ बोला है ना, डायरेक्ट ब्रेथ निकाल लेंगे। 16 4b² = 16, 4 कट हुआ, b का स्क्वायर = 4, b का वैल्यू 2 सेंटीमीटर, आंसर। ठीक है, ये आपका 43rd का आंसर। 44 का, इफ द एंगल्स ऑफ अ ट्राइंगल आर इन द रेशियो 9:11, क्या है, 9:11:16, ठीक है। एंगल्स, ट्राइंगल का एंगल क्या होता है, पहले 180 डिग्री होता है, ठीक है। तीनों का मिला के 180 डिग्री है, तो कितना हो गया, 16 + 11 27, 20 + 9 36, 36 का वैल्यू 180 है, तो 1 का वैल्यू 5, ठीक है, 5 डिग्री। आपसे पूछा क्या है, ग्रेटेस्ट एंड स्मॉलेस्ट, तो ग्रेटेस्ट कितना है 16, स्मॉलेस्ट कितना है 9, ये दोनों का डिफरेंस कितना हो गया 7, 7 × 5 35, ये आपका आंसर। देखिए यहां पर अगर क्वाड्रिलेटरल, चलिए एक अलग से बता दे रहे, क्वाड्रिलेटरल दे देता, तो क्वाड्रिलेटरल का कितना डिग्री होता है, 360 डिग्री होता है। और जस्ट सपोज 9 11 16 और एक एंगल दे देता, ठीक है, तो इस सब को ऐड करके जैसे 9, 11, 16 और कोई एक दे देता, और आपको फिर अगर फाइंड आउट करने बोलता तो वो सबको ऐड करके 360 से इक्वेट कर देते। फिर अगर स्मॉलेस्ट और ग्रेटेस्ट पूछता तब भी वही करते। तो ये याद रखना है कि ट्राइंगल का 180 हो गया और क्वाड्रिलेटरल का 360 होता है। ठीक है, अभी यहाँ क्वेश्चन क्या बोल रहा है, नाजिर स्पेंड्स 20% ऑफ हिज मंथली इनकम ऑन हाउसिंग, ठीक है, 25% ऑफ रिमेनिंग ऑन एजुकेशन एंड सेव्स 10% ऑफ रिमेनिंग इफ हीज monthly salary is 5 to 600, how much money does he save every month? अभी क्या बोल रहा है, चलिए दिखता है। उसका मंथली इनकम कितना है, 5 to, वो स्पेंड कितना कर रहा है, 20% स्पेंड कर देगा तो सेव कितना, आपको लास्ट में तो सेव ही निकालना है ना, तो हम लोग डायरेक्ट अभी यही स्टार्ट कर देते हैं प्रोसीजर। 20% स्पेंड कर रहा है तो सेव कितना कर रहा है, 80। ठीक है, अभी यहाँ पे देखिए ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये रिमेनिंग वर्ड यही सबसे ज्यादा कंफ्यूजिंग करता है। 25% ऑफ द रिमेनिंग, 25% ऑफ द रिमेनिंग मतलब आप 100 समझ लो, उसका 25% कम हो गया तो कितना हो जाएगा, 75। इतना सेव कर रहा है। ठीक है, फिर क्या बोल रहा है, 10% ऑफ द रिमेनिंग सेव, फिर से 10% ऑफ द रिमेनिंग, 10% और खत्म हो गया तो कितना हो गया, 90 बाय 100। अब इसको कट करो पूरा, 3, 4, ठीक है, ये 20 हो गया, ये 20 हो गया। ठीक है, ये 20 को कट करेंगे, कितना हो गया, 5, और इसको भी कट करेंगे, 18। ठीक है, अभी कहाँ कुछ गलत हो रहा है, कट हो गया 18, एक सेकंड, कुछ मिस्टेक हुआ, एक सेकंड, 5266, क्या वो पहले कितना था, 80 था ना, 80 सेव किया बाय 100 मल्टीप्लाई, फिर क्या कर रहा है, 25% ऑफ द रिमेनिंग 75 बाय 100 मल्टीप्लाई 90 बाय 100, इसको कट किए। ठीक है, एक सेकंड, ठीक है, 3, 4, ये 20 हो गया। ठीक है, ये 5 हो गया और ये 18 हो गया, मल्टीप्लाई कितना हो रहा है, 526 मल्टीप्लाई कितना हो गया, 54, कितना है, इंटू, कुछ मिस्टेक हो रहा है, कुछ मिस्टेक हो रहा है, एक सेकंड, कट करने में आई थिंक प्रॉब्लम किया है, कुछ मिस्टेक कर रहा है, 104, एक कुछ मिस्टेक हो रहा है, इसको अगर कट करोगे ना तो डायरेक्ट आपका आंसर 3156 आ जाता है। ठीक है, ये डायरेक्ट आपका 3156 आंसर आ जा रहा है। आप इसको अगर कट करके एक बार देख लेना, इसका डायरेक्ट आपका 3156 हो जा रहा है, कुछ मिस्टेक हो रहा है जिसकी वजह से ये प्रॉब्लम कर रहा है। क्या आगे देखते हैं, 46 ये पेज में नहीं बनेगा, इसको पूरा बनाना पड़ेगा। इस तरह क्वेश्चन ज्यादातर आते हैं। The sum of the digits of 2-digit number is 9। ठीक है, देखिए 2-digit नंबर कैसे बनता है, 2-digit नंबर, जैसे सपोज ये 12 है, 2-digit नंबर है, तो इसमें क्या ये 1s प्लेस है, ये 10s प्लेस है। 10s प्लेस को, ये 1s प्लेस को हम लोग y मान लेते हैं, 10s प्लेस को x करके डिनोट करते हैं। 12 को हम लोग कैसे लिख सकते हैं, 10 × 1 + 2, तो 1 को हम लोग x मान लेते हैं और ये 2 वाले पार्ट को y मान लेते हैं, तो 10x प्लस वाई ये ओरिजिनल वैल्यू हो गया। ठीक है, ये ओरिजिनल हो गया। फिर क्या बोल रहा है, इफ द डिजिट्स आर रिवर्स्ड एंड द सम ऑफ द डिजिट्स मतलब x प्लस वाई का वैल्यू 9 दिया हुआ है। ठीक है, if the digits are reversed, the new number when increased by 9 equals to 3 times the original number। अगर ये डिजिट को रिवर्स कर दिया जाए, मतलब y 10s में आ जाएगा और x 1s में आ जाएगा, ये रिवर्स हो जाता है, और इसमें ऐड कर दिया जाए 9 को, तो क्या देगा आपको 3 टाइम्स द ओरिजिनल नंबर, 3 टाइम्स द ओरिजिनल नंबर 10x प्लस वाई। इसको चलिए सॉल्यूशन सॉल्व करते हैं। 10y प्लस x प्लस 9 इक्वल टू 30x प्लस वाई। ठीक है, ये x इधर जाएगा 29x, और ये 9 को भी इधर ले लेते हैं, इक्वल टू, अच्छा ये 3y है ना, 3y, ये y इधर आ जाएगा तो 7y। ये आपका एक इक्वेशन बना, ये आपका एक इक्वेशन बना। यहाँ पर ये दूसरा इक्वेशन है, ये पहला इक्वेशन था। ये इक्वेशन से हम लोग क्या करते हैं, y का वैल्यू देखते हैं, 9 माइनस एक्स हो जाएगा, 9 माइनस एक्स हो जाएगा। ठीक है, यहां पर ये पुट करके देखते हैं, 29x माइनस 9 इक्वल टू 7, 9 माइनस एक्स, 29x माइनस 9 इक्वल टू 63 माइनस 7x, कितना हो गया, ये इधर चल जाएगा तो 36x इक्वल टू 72। x का वैल्यू 2, अगर x का वैल्यू 2 है तो x प्लस वाई का वैल्यू 9 था, तो y का वैल्यू 7 हो जाएगा। ओरिजिनल वैल्यू क्या था हम लोग का, 10x प्लस वाई, तो 10x के जगह 2 रख देंगे तो 20 और 7, 27 आंसर आपका, 27 आपका आंसर। फाइंड द 47, फाइंड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द प्लेस वैल्यू एंड द फेस वैल्यू। जब भी आपको फेस वैल्यू बोलता है ना, तो आपको एकदम सिंपल वही नंबर ले लेना है। ठीक है, जैसे 2 है तो 2 ही फेस वैल्यू हो गया आपका। अभी प्लेस वैल्यू आपको बोल रहा है, तो हम लोग क्या जानते हैं, 1s 10s 100, 200 पोजीशन में है, तो 100 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दीजिए, कितना हो गया 200। ठीक है, अब ये दोनों को डिफरेंस पूछा है, तो 200 माइनस 2 198, ये आपका आंसर हो गया। यहां पर अगर फेस वैल्यू 3 का पूछता और प्लेस वैल्यू 3 का बोलता, तो क्या करते, 3000 माइनस 3 2997, जैसा भी आपको पूछे तो आप ऐसा बना लेना। ये अभी ये फुल्ली फॉर्मूला बेस्ड क्वेश्चन हो गया, ये फुल्ली फॉर्मूला बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है, तो इसका फॉर्मूला आप देख लो, इसका फॉर्मूला एक बार देख लीजिए, a क्यूब प्लस b क्यूब प्लस c क्यूब माइनस 3abc इक्वल टू a प्लस b प्लस c क्यूब माइनस 3a प्लस b प्लस c मल्टीप्लाई ए बी प्लस बी सी प्लस सी ए। ये फॉर्मूला आप वैसे याद जल्दी नहीं होगा, बट फॉर्मूला एक बार अच्छा से थोड़ा एक बार देख लीजिएगा, क्योंकि इंपॉर्टेंट है, 1 से 2 बार देखोगे तो याद हो सकता है फॉर्मूला। तो इसमें क्या क्वेश्चन आपको क्या क्या दिया हुआ है, a प्लस बी प्लस सी का वैल्यू 8 है, a प्लस बी प्लस सी का वैल्यू 8 है, और इसका वैल्यू आपको दिया हुआ है 11, a इंटू बी। ठीक है, इसका वैल्यू आपको 11 दिया हुआ है, तो क्या करेंगे, और आपको निकालना किसका है, ये पूरा वैल्यू का आपको निकालना है। ठीक है, तो क्या करेंगे, 8 क्यूब माइनस 3 इंटू 8 इंटू 11, 8 का क्यूब कितना होता है 512 माइनस कितना हो गया 264 248 डायरेक्ट आंसर आ गया आपको। बहुत रेयरली इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, बट करने वाले कर देते हैं। 248 आंसर। देखो ये क्वेश्चन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ठीक है। द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द वैल्यू ऑफ नंबर इंक्रीज बाय 32%। सबसे पहले तो आपको वो नंबर जो भी आपको इंक्रीज बोल रहा है ना, जस्ट सपोज दैट नंबर विल बी 100%, ठीक है। द नंबर इज इंक्रीज बाय 132%। अभी देखिए हम लोग इसको न्यूमरेटर और डिनोमिनेटर के फॉर्म में मान लेते हैं। तो न्यूमरेटर इंक्रीज कितना कर रहा है, 32%, मतलब 132%। एंड डिक्रीज 28%, डिक्रीज 28 कितना हो गया, 100 में माइनस 28 हुआ तो कितना हो गया, 72। अब ये दोनों का वैल्यू कितना हो रहा है, ठीक है, सॉरी डिफरेंस कितना हो रहा है, 180। तो ये दोनों का डिफरेंस कितना हो जाएगा, 60%। 60% का वैल्यू 180, तो 1% का वैल्यू 3 आपसे किसका पूछा है, द नंबर मतलब 100%। तो 3 इंटू 100, 300। जब भी आपको इंक्रीज बोले तो आप 100 में ऐड कर दो, डिक्रीज बोले 100 से माइनस कर दो। और ये न्यूमरेटर डिनोमिनेटर के अगर आप लेके चलोगे तो ज्यादा इजी रहता है। to 5%, ठीक है। Every year, if the present population of the village is 4046, what was its population 2 years ago? देखो आपका प्रेजेंट पॉपुलेशन कितना दिया हुआ है, 4046। 4046 आपका क्या बोल रहा है कि जस्ट सपोज 2 years एगो आपका पॉपुलेशन एक्स होगा, ठीक है। फिर वो इंक्रीज करते गया 6.25%। अभी देखिए 6.25% इंक्रीज किया है, तो पहले 6.25% का हम लोग फ्रैक्शन वैल्यू निकाल लीजिए, कितना होगा। ये 100% को हटाएंगे तो नीचे 100 हो गया, ठीक है। और इसको एक और हटा देंगे तो 100 हो जाएगा। इसको कट करिए, 25 से कट हुआ तो ये 4 हो गया, और एक कट हुआ तो ये भी 4 हो गया। क्या आ गया, 1/16। इंक्रीज कर रहा है तो यहाँ प्लस देते हैं, ये कितना हो गया, 17/16, ठीक है। 17/16 ये हो गया। वैसे अगर इस तरह नहीं होता है तो आप हम इस तरह भी कर सकते हो, 100% आप नंबर ले लो, ठीक है। 100% में 6.25% इंक्रीज कर रहा है तो 106.25% इस तरह भी करके लिख सकते हो। तो लेकिन ये थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन ज्यादा क्रिएट करेगा, इसलिए फ्रैक्शन में ले आइए, ज्यादा इजी रहेगा। 17/16 वो 2 years एगो, ठीक है। अगर x% था तो इसमें इंक्रीज हुआ इतना, ठीक है। फिर 2 साल इंक्रीज कर रहा है, कंसिस्टेंटली 2 साल इंक्रीज कर रहा है, तो 1/16। अभी आप इसको अगर कट कुछ करोगे, इधर कुछ 14 आता है, ठीक है। x = 14 × 16 ठीक है। जो आएगा आपका वो आंसर हो जाएगा x का वैल्यू, ठीक है। ये आपका ये x का वैल्यू हो गया। तो मोस्टली क्वेश्चन ज्यादा इजी ही थे, कुछ क्वेश्चंस में बस थोड़ा सा टाइम ज्यादा लगेगा क्योंकि कैलकुलेटिव बहुत है ये, ठीक है। ये सब क्वेश्चंस कैलकुलेटिव बहुत है। और जो आपके अपकमिंग एग्जाम्स के लिए मेरी मैथ्स में यही सजेशन रहेगी कि सबसे पहले कैलकुलेशन, क्योंकि अभी हम लोगों ने जितना भी अभी ऊपर तक देखा सब में कैलकुलेशंस बहुत थे। तो आप प्लस माइनस डिवीजन मल्टीप्लाई एलसीएम, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एलसीएम, ठीक है। स्क्वायर्स, क्यूब, टेबल, अगर ये आपका थोड़ा सा भी स्ट्रांग है तो आपको बहुत अच्छा एक बिल्ड अच्छा हो जाएगा कॉन्सेप्ट का, ठीक है। और आपका स्पीड में भी थोड़ा ज्यादा हो जाएगा। इसके बाद जो जो भी चैप्टर्स हैं, ठीक है, जो चैप्टर्स है आपके पास, जो भी नोट्स है उनको एक बार रिवीजन करिए, ठीक है। प्लस ये सब करने के बाद मॉक टेस्ट, जैसे अभी कितने 41 से 50 क्वेश्चंस थे, ये सारे में कितने क्या थे, अलग अलग टाइप के क्वेश्चंस थे। तो इससे क्या हो गया, आपने सारे चैप्टर्स का आपका मिक्सचर ये पूरा क्वेश्चन हो गया। अगर आप जितना हर चैप्टर आप रिवीजन कर ले रहे हो, ये क्वेश्चन बना दे रहे हो, तो आपका हर चैप्टर का रिवीजन यहीं पे हो जा रहा है, एक बार और रिवीजन हो जा रहा है। तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा मॉक टेस्ट दीजिए, और सेक्शनल मॉक टेस्ट ज्यादा दीजिए। मॉक एक फुल मॉक टेस्ट दीजिए, उसके बाद प्रॉपर एनालिसिस करिए। भी जैसे एनालिसिस हम लोग कर रहे हैं, उसका एक प्रॉपर एनालिसिस करिए, उसके बाद एक सेक्शनल मॉक्स दे दीजिए, चाहे मैथ्स का हो, इंग्लिश का हो, अलग अलग, जिससे आपको पता चलेगा कि मेरे मैथ्स में करेक्टली कितने मार्क्स आ रहे हैं। और हर बार एक बार रिव्यू करिए कि अगर फर्स्ट मॉक में मेरा इतना नंबर था, तो सेकेंड मॉक में मेरा इंक्रीज किया या डिक्रीज किया। प्लस वहां पर जो मॉक का होता है, मॉक का हर एक मॉक का ना, जो एग्जामिनर होता है, सॉरी मॉक, ये जो ऐप होता है या फिर जो भी ऐप है, ठीक है, आप उसका ऐप में ना परसेंटाइल हमेशा आप देखिए। इंस्टीट्यूट का ऐप है तो उसमें भी परसेंटाइल दिखाएगा, ठीक है, परसेंटाइल देखिए। हर एक चैप्टर, हर एक क्वेश्चन का देखिए कि कितना वेटेज है दे रहा है वो ऐप में, और उसका परसेंटाइल आप काम करो, ठीक है। अगर वो परसेंटाइल आपका 100 परसेंटाइल है, ठीक है, वो पूरा मॉक का, अगर उसमें आप क्लोज भी 80 भी जा रहे हो, 80 एंड अबव जा रहे हो, वेल गुड, बट 80 भी क्लोज जा रहे हो, 75 to 80 भी जा रहे हो, तो बहुत सही है। आप इसको देखो, हर मॉक टेस्ट में इसको एनालिसिस करिए। एनालिसिस इज द की। आप कितने भी मॉक टेस्ट मान लो, कोई आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, बट अगर एनालिसिस आप नहीं करोगे तो वो आपको प्रॉब्लमेटिक हो जाएगा। दैट्स ऑल। अगर आप ओके सर।
Yes, Nihal sir. Thank you very much. है ना? So here our 50 questions out of 60 has been done. Now only logical reasoning part is remaining. We will request our expert for logical reasoning to please move ahead with the logical reasoning part, so that in the end we can go for the strategy session. Over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are perfectly audible.
Uh, okay. I have shared the screen right now. I hope it is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. So if you were to start with question number 51, logical reasoning starts from question number 51 and goes up to question number 60. Now, the first question here, question number 51, it talks about which word cannot be formed with the word milestone. One thing you need to remember is that we have to find a word that cannot be formed. ऐसे सवाल भी आ सकते हैं where they ask can be formed. Okay, since here cannot is asked, if you look at the options given to us, stone, milestone में ही stone है, mild, the alphabet D is here, whereas in milestone the alphabet D is unavailable. So the correct answer here is mild, option number 2. Moving on, the next question. Read the given information carefully and answer the following question. Now, there are 7 people in a family. Okay. There are 2 married couples and 3 generations. That is the basic gist of the question that is being asked. M is a character, P is a character, so on with T, R, Q, S. Okay. Now, it says M is the only daughter. So M, in my denomination, M I denote it as negative, or for female, it is negative, and for male, it is plus. You can have your own way of denoting things. Please stick to that. Don't get confused. Now, it says M is the only daughter of P. That means P, M. This is how it is. Who is the paternal grandfather of T? Who, in the sense, they are talking about P. So P is the paternal grandfather. That means P has another child who is a male, whose child here, we don't know if it's a male or a female, is T. Okay. R is the son of Q. अभी हम लोग ने कहीं पे भी R और Q को denote नहीं किया है, so we can just put it as like this. T is the other daughter of S. So S automatically should come here. R is the father of W. T is the sister of W that is being asked. If you look carefully, the question says, how is W related to R? Now, there are two ways to go about this. Either draw this diagram that I just drew, or pay a little more close attention to the question and see. Here, R and W are being mentioned in three different sentences. That is, R is a son of Q, R is the father of W, and T is a sister of W. Nowhere here the gender of W is being spoken about. If you see, W, the gender is unknown because R is a son of Q is mentioned, T is a daughter of S is mentioned, R is a father of W is mentioned. So R is a male that is established. W is spoken about first case here. No mention of W's gender. T is a sister of W. Again, T's gender is mentioned, W's is not. So the correct answer to this is, since we know R is male, we don't know whether W is male or female. The correct answer here is cannot be determined. That is option 4. I hope people can understand this. Now, in these type of questions, it is my recommendation, and I would highly suggest to read the question first properly, because what happens in most of the cases is you tend to make these diagrams, or you must have your own way of solving these. Instead, take a moment, read the question. The answer will most likely be in the question itself. Okay. If you're still getting confused, then drawing these kind of family charts is one of the easiest way to go about it. Moving on, question number 53. It is a basic substitution question. Here, the symbol hash denotes subtraction, @ denotes addition, division denotes multiplication. And we are basically given with an equation, that is 378 hash 12 divided by 3 multiplied by 6 @ 14 minus 2. If you see here, you have to change hash to minus, division to multiply. Multiplication, there is no symbols mentioned, so it will be as multiplication itself. @ will become addition. Again, for subtraction, there is no substitution mentioned, so it will stay as subtraction. If you solve properly, the final equation will be somewhere like this: 378 minus 12 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 6 plus 14 minus 2. All you have to do is use BODMAS. Okay. If you do that, you can club these together. That is 12, 3 and 6 will get multiplied, which will get subtracted by 378, to which you will add 14 and minus 2. If you solve properly, the correct answer would end up with 174. Okay. So the equation would be somewhat like this. Let me just solve it here. 378 minus 216 minus 2 plus 14. 378 minus 218 plus 14. That is 174. That's your answer. Okay, so correct answer here is option 1. Moving on. Question number 54. Find the odd one out. The words here are begin, start, initiative, hurdle. I'm pretty sure you know what start means, you know what begin means. Initiative might be a confusing one, but again, it means to initiate something, to start something. So this becomes a part of the trend, that to start, begin and initiate. Hurdle is basically an obstacle. You must have watched Commonwealth Games or even Olympic Games and all of that, where there are hurdle races, right? Where there are barriers between the race, like this. People jump across. So that is a hurdle. In a more common terms, hurdle means something that is preventing you from doing a certain thing. Okay, an obstacle in your path. So these are the type of questions which will test your vocabulary, can be a part of English language as well. So just pay a little close attention because these are easy marks. Moving on, we have coding and decoding type of question. It says Russia is written as 181919. Okay. America is written as 13183. Then what will Ireland be coded as? If you see here, Russia is of 6 letters and you have coding for 6. Okay. That is 181919, which seems fair. Moving on to America. America is again 7 letters, but the coding is of 13183. What is it? 2 and 5. That doesn't add up. If you're thinking each alphabet is coded as a number, for Russia it made sense, for America it doesn't. Now, so that logic of ours is incorrect. What we'll do is, now if you pay more close attention to this, and again this is my recommendation and advice, that if you get a piece of paper like a rough sheet on your exam day, make sure you all are writing this. A stands for 1, B stands for 2, so on and so forth to Z or Z stands for 26. Okay, keep this code written because this will help you in understanding these type of questions. It might take a few minutes, but it is very helpful. Okay. Now, we'll quickly move on to the answer of this, or what makes it stand out. If you see here, all of the consonants, that is, just give me a second. Yeah. For Russia are U, S, S, I, A. If you see all of the consonants, right, that is your R, S, and S. If according to the coding, if you check, R is number 18, S is number 19, S is number 19. So if you see, all of the consonants are coded that way. Even in America, if you see, let me just erase this for a moment. Yeah. America is A, M, E, R, I, C, A. If you look at the consonants, that is M, R, C. M is 13, R, as we rightly saw before, was 18, and C is 3. B becomes 2, C is 3. Okay. So there are 26 alphabets there are 26 letters in the English alphabet. Goes on like that. Now, if you have to quickly run through Ireland, Ireland stands for I, R, E, L, A, N, D. The consonants here are R, L, N, and D. So R, as we saw before, was 18. L is 12. N is 14. D is 4. So the code would be 1812144. So yeah, I make a mistake somewhere. Okay. Now look at the option. The options, if you check, 1812114. Option 1 stands correctly. Okay. Other way of going about this, again, I would not recommend or suggest, but the last resort to solve these type of questions, if you understand a bit of logic on the sense of the examiner as well, right, you will see two options being very close to each other. Okay. So if you play the numbers game or even the probabilities game, you can come up to an answer. Again, it is not my recommendation or a suggestion, but agar kuch nahi aa raha hai, or you have to get through this, that can be done. Okay. Now, question number 56. These are personally my favorite type of questions. I'll tell you why in a moment. Now it says, read the given information carefully. Decide which of the following statement is or are. So both are a possibility, are necessary to answer the question given below. The question asked is, what is Ayush's present age? Okay. So the first statement is, Ayush's present age is 5 times Shubham's present age. So Ayush's present age is equal to 5 times Shubham's present age. So this is statement 1. Okay. Now we'll move on to statement 2. Statement 2 says, 5 years ago, her age was 25 times Shubham's age. Okay, so 5 years ago would be what? I'll just write it here. AP, that is Ayushi's present age minus 5, equals 25 times Shubham's present age minus 5. Even Shubham's 5 years ago, that is being asked. Now, if you look at the options, are they asking you for an answer to this? No. What are they asking is statement 1 alone sufficient to answer the question? Can you solve the question using just statement 1? Probably not. Because what does statement 1 say? Statement 1 says Ayushi's present age equals 5 times S's present age. Shubham's present age, right? Yes, Shubham's present age. Is that statement alone sufficient to solve? No. Look at the second option. It says, if the data in statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Can you solve this question using just this solution? Sorry, this statement? No, you can't. Okay, because you'll see there is one equation and two variables. A basic sense of mathematics will get you to understand that we need a minimum of two statements or two equations to solve for two variables. Okay, now look at the third option. This is one of the reasons why I say this is one of my favorite types of question. It says either 1 or statement 2 are alone sufficient to answer the question. Can we solve this question using either one, that is statement 1 or statement 2? Can you solve it? No. So even third option is incorrect. Now, the fourth option says, if the data in both statements together, can you solve this question using two of the statements that we have used? Yes. If you want, I can solve it for you. Let me just solve it here. Okay. Ayushi's present age, okay, equals 5 times Shubham's present age, right? So can I write SP equals AP by 5? This will be my first equation. Now I have to just substitute this into the equation of AP minus 5 equals 25 times SP minus 5. Sub math solve karke, if you solve all the mathematics properly, you will get AP equals 30 and Shubham's present age will be equal to 150. I know it doesn't make sense, but you can solve this question using both the statements. That is all they are asking. You don't have to sit and solve this. That is why even I haven't solved it completely. But you get my point, right? You don't have to solve this completely. You just have to check whether statement 1 alone is required or whether statement 2 alone is required, or you need both the statements to solve together. Okay? These are basically data interpretation and data sufficiency type of questions that are being asked. I hope this was easy. So the correct answer here is option 4. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 57. Which of the following option best suits the Venn diagram is being asked? Okay, so what this means is everything that is a part of the innermost circle. Okay, let me simplify it this way. This is circle 1, this is circle 2, this is the outermost circle 3. What it means is everything that is part of circle 1 is a part of circle 2. Okay, everything that is a part of circle 2 is a part of circle 3. So what happens is the innermost should be the smallest value and the outermost should be the largest one. Even if we check the options, right, they are somewhat similar. Metal. Is sodium a metal? Yes. But is fluorine related to sodium? No. So incorrect. Look at the second option. It says thyroid gland, pituitary gland and endocrine gland. All three are glands. So they can't be one under the other. Okay? Make sense? So that is why even this does not hold true. Looking at option number 3, it says grandfather, father, girls. Grandfather and father make sense because a father in the future can become a grandfather. But can girls in the future become fathers? Probably not. Okay. So that is why even this does not hold true. Now, if you look at the fourth option, it says India, Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow. Is Lucknow a part of Uttar Pradesh? Yes. Is Uttar Pradesh a part of India? Yes. The correct answer is option 4. Did you all understand this? So if I have to write it this way, I'll just write it here. In the innermost circle, you will get Lucknow, that is, I've written with blue, L. In the second one, you will get Uttar Pradesh, and in the outer one, you will get India. Okay. So this option number 4 holds true. Moving on to the next one, that is your missing number series. Okay. Again, this is one of the difficult portions of your logical reasoning. Why I consider it to be difficult is because of 2 reasons. One is because इसमें math आता है. दूसरा, हमें math इतने अच्छे से नहीं आता. ठीक है. Why ऐसे इतने अच्छे से नहीं आता है is because we tend to make silly mistakes when we're calculating. Okay. So that is why these type of questions are a little difficult. Again, can you all, how do I say this? Does it have to be difficult? No. Just take a breath, take a moment and see a pattern. Try to recognize a pattern. If you know your squares, cubes, which is a basic requirement for all of these kind of exams, you will notice that 168 is basically 169 minus 1. That is 13 square. If you look at 120, that is what? 121 minus 1. Whereas 121 is 11 square. Okay. Now, this might also be somewhat some square minus 1. Okay. That is a possible. That seems like a possibility. Now, can we end up to 13? Let's check. 2 plus 6 plus 2 plus 3 plus. That is, I added all of the wings here. Okay. So I added 2 plus 6 plus another 2, sorry, and another 3. This adds up to 13. Logic to दिख गया. Understood? So 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 2 is another 10, plus 3 is 13. So 13 squared minus 1. Okay, that is 168. So we understood how the first square gets, first design gets 168. Okay, now can we try the same logic for our second one? Let's check. Second one wants 3 plus 5 plus 1 plus 2. 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 1 is 9 plus 2. That is what? 11. So 11 square would be what? 121 minus 1. That is 120. Okay, even this holds true. So our logic is correct. Now how do we find the missing value? Just add 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. 2 plus 3 is 5, to which you add another 5 is 10, plus 4 is 14. So 14 square is 196. From that you will subtract 1, that is 195. Okay, so the correct option here is option 4. Okay, I hope this was understood. Moving on to the next question. This is a mirror image. अगर लॉजिकल रीजनिंग में सबसे आसान कोई टॉपिक है तो वो है मिरर इमेज. ओके, I'll tell you a trick on what can be done. It's kind of cheating, but we'll get to that in a moment. But for now, if you see, all you have to do in mirror image, simple सा रूल यही है कि जो लिखा हुआ है उसका उल्टा बनाओ. L, the bottom half of the L is facing towards the right, you draw towards the left. Okay, and mirror, the closest to the mirror will also be closest. Simple as that. A को हम change नहीं कर सकते हैं तो A वैसे ही रहेगा. U will also be the same. S को उल्टा लिखना है, A को ऐसे लिखना है, C को ऐसे लिखना है. Okay, so this was casual. Now check which fits this way. Option 1 not happening because L is the farthest. L should have been here, but it is not. So similarly, even this goes off. Option 2 is also eliminated. Now if you see option 3 and option 4. In a mirror image, every image is inverted or ulta as I see it. If you see option number 4, S is written as it is. Will that be possible? No, because what we have done is here, it looks like a 2. So the correct answer, so even option 4 is incorrect. So the correct answer is option 3. This is the only one that fits to the diagram that fits the image that we have just drawn. Okay, I hope that was easy. Moving on to the last question. Again, one good thing about these type of questions is अगर तुम्हें वो दिख गया जो क्वेश्चन में पूछा है, अगर वो दिख गया, then it is free के marks. Why I say free के marks is there is nothing to solve, nothing to use your brains for. There is no need for you to apply any logic here. It's just visualization, okay, and paying attention to what the question is being asked. It says select the option in which the given figure is embedded. So you have to find this in these 4 options. Now, what does it look like? A standing line, a big sleeping line, another standing line with a diagonal from one of the corners. Now, in the first image, if you see, there is only one diagonal, okay, that is going from your top left corner to bottom left corner. Sorry, bottom right corner, my bad. That is the only one that is visible. Does it have any of these? No. So option 1 is incorrect. Moving on to option number 2. If you pay more close attention to this, there are a lot of these lines. Yes, there's one here as well. So this seems more likely. Let's check. We have one standing line, a sleeping line, another standing line, and a diagonal. So basically you are getting this. So option 2 directly becomes your right answer. So the correct answer to this is option 2. Just for our understanding, let us solve option 3 and option 4 also. Let us try to see if there are any like that. In this image, if you see, there is no such diagonal present except one, that is here. Okay, they have even tried to confuse you with this diagram, or sorry, this diagonal in the third option. But if you read the question properly, it says rotation is not allowed. So you don't have to tilt the image, you don't have to check for the image. Okay, so even option 3 becomes incorrect. Option 4 में एक ही बचता है, वो यहाँ पे है. But again, the configuration should have been like this, which isn't. Okay, makes sense? So even option 4 is incorrect. You might say that this looks like this, okay, but the standing line should have been a little longer here. That is the only difference. Okay, let's keep that in. So the correct answer to this is option 2. That brings us to the end of logical reasoning. A few suggestions from my end would be, first and foremost, read the questions properly, because they might try to confuse you with which can be done, which cannot be done, which is possible, which is not possible, things like that. Okay. And the other reason why I say read the question properly is, in most cases, if the question has a lot of, for the lack of better word, English written, or the question is big enough, okay, it has got a lot of content in it, the answer will be embedded in that, because the examiner has thought of that question with a particular purpose. Okay, respect that. And the second most important pointer here is, please don't make silly mistakes while calculating. Okay, that would be the 2 most important aspects of this. Logical reasoning is supposed to be easy, easier than maths. In fact, in some cases, easier than English as well. Okay, so please try to score as much as you can from logical reasoning, because there is little of calculation. You just have to pay attention to what you're reading and use a little bit of brain. So there is not a lot of rocket science kind of a thing happening here. Okay, So whenever you're solving logical reasoning, just stick to that. For topics like blood relations or images, just read the question. If you don't understand it, read it again. Just try to visualize for images and puzzles, okay? If there are formulas, if there are easier ways to go about it, stick to that. Now, I think that would be it from my end, sir. Let me just end my screen. Over to you, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir. So here we come to the last part of the presentation, the last minute strategy. I will not take much of the time because it's already 1 hour 30 minutes since people are watching this. So the last minute strategy is, don't do anything on the last day. Just relax, be with your friends, be with your family, pray to God for a better examination. See, there are 3,000 people who will be selected for the physical round. So you need to score a decent 45 marks. That will be good enough for you to get selected in the first round for the physical round, the second round which is there. So to get 45 marks, first let us see how a day before you can prepare yourself. Just see the formulas, relax. Competitive exams are more based on psychology rather than what your knowledge is. You need to be cool. 2 questions here or there can make it or break it. So you need to keep your cool, you need to keep your calm, prepare your documents properly. You should have your Aadhaar card photocopy, at least 2 copies with you, your admit card, at least 2 copies with you. Reach the center well in advance, at least 25 to 30 minutes in advance. Carry a water bottle. Water bottle needs to be in a transparent water bottle. It should be a transparent one. Pen, pencil, rubber, eraser, sharpener, all these things should be prepared. Your handkerchief, your napkin, whatever you use needs to be prepared 1 day before the exam, not on the day when you have exam. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि 10 o'clock exam है, 9 o'clock reporting है, तो सुबह 8 बजे उठ करके आप दौड़ रहे हो कि ये कहाँ है, वो कहाँ है. Those things do not happen in good exams. आप वो एक दिन पहले prepare करिए. Prepare everything. Wear clothes which are comfortable, have light food, and then go for the examination. During exam, as we all told, as we had taken this session, as we had taken this complete analysis, first section which you can solve or which should be your property should be Konkani. That is the most important section which you need to look forward to, is Konkani. First section should be Konkani. Second section to move ahead can be English. Why Konkani and English? This I had repeatedly told in many of my sessions or many of my strategy sessions, because it takes very less time to solve Konkani and English. Within English 20 questions, Konkani 10 questions, 30 questions within 20 minutes you will be able to solve. Now you are left with 55 minutes and number of questions are only 30. So for every question now you will get nice 2 minutes so that you will be able to solve. So first step to solve the question should be Konkani. Second should be English. Third, logical reasoning, and math सबसे end में. However, in exam, logical reasoning can come at the end. But you skip that part and go directly to the logical reasoning section and maths at the end. Maths में भी जो topic अच्छे से आता है वो topic पहले बनाना है. डोंट सी हियर और देयर कि मेरा फ्रेंड कितने अच्छे से बना रहा है, कौन कितने अच्छे से क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर रहा है. हो सकता है आपके फ्रेंड को या फिर जो भी आप जिसको जानते नहीं हो उस एस्पिरेंट को कुछ नहीं आता और वो सिर्फ रैंडम तुक्के मार रहा हो. सो इन दैट केस हैव कॉन्फिडेंस ऑन योरसेल्फ एंड जितना आपको आता है, जैसा समझ में आता है, प्लीज मार्क इट. एट द एंड प्लीज सेव 5 to 10 मिनट्स टाइम, ताकि जो क्वेश्चंस आपने मार्क नहीं किए हैं उन क्वेश्चंस को आप मार्क कर सको. जो भी क्वेश्चंस आपने मार्क नहीं किए उन क्वेश्चन को मार्क करने के लिए प्लीज लीव 10 मिनट्स एट द एंड. 10 मिनट लास्ट में रखना ही है. सो द स्ट्रैटेजी ऑफ पेपर शुड बी फर्स्ट कोंकणी, देन इंग्लिश, देन रीजनिंग एंड लास्ट में मैथ्स. आफ्टर सबमिटिंग, वेट फॉर सम टाइम, यू विल गेट योर मार्क्स इमीडिएटली. तुरंत आपको आपके मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे. And as soon as you get selected in the first round, if you are getting anything above 42 or 43 marks, it means you will be selected for the second round, means the physical round. Immediately start for your physical round preparation and round 2 preparation. The Bodhi Academy will be starting their batches also for the round 2 preparation, for the second round preparation. So don't worry about it. That we will take care. We will have more live mock tests like what we had kept. More and more live mock tests will be there. Along with the live tests, we will also be having the study material, test series, all those things which are there. All things you can use forward to. Fine. And after exams, don't be very much overconfident. Wait for the next day, because Konkani marks do not, you will not be able to get the Konkani marks on that single day. Konkani marks you will only be able to see the next day. So have faith, have patience, and then give the exam paper. Don't become nervous. But at the same time, this is a very big opportunity for the ones who were waiting for big numbers. Goa PSI is a very, very big exam. So give the respect to that exam. Okay. So again, at the end, pointing at the minutes. First thing, prepare your documents properly. Second thing, wear loose clothes, wear comfortable clothes, go in a proper segment, have proper sleep. Very important. Don't become sleep deprived. Have proper sleep one day before. इधर उधर घूमने जाओ, दिमाग को रिलैक्स करो, एंड नेक्स्ट डे गो एंड गिव द एग्जाम. स्ट्रेटजी ऑफ द एग्जाम, वहां जाना है, शांति से बैठना है. डोंट टॉक हियर और देयर. मोबाइल से दूर रहने की आदत थोड़ी अभी से डाल लो कि 1.5 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours you are away from your mobile phone. That way you will be able to move ahead with the examination in a nice manner. During exam, first Konkani, then English, then math, then reasoning, and then maths. This should be the setup for which how you should give the examination. Okay, after this also many examinations are there. IBPS exam is there, SBI exam has just come. So many exams are there. Buckle up. इस साल कहीं ना कहीं जॉब वैकेंसीज में जॉब्स निकल ही जाएंगी. बहुत वैकेंसीज आ रहे थे. So these are two good vacancies and we can move ahead for this. Okay, so we are ending the live here. Thank you very much everyone for attending this live. We will be having many more sessions like this in which me and my team, the Bodhi Academy team, we will be guiding you with different aspects of different subjects. All the very best. All the very best for the upcoming Goa PSI exam. All the experts from the Bodhi Academy are signing out. Thank you very much for attending this live. All the best.
हाँ हाँ मैं हूँ.